you can feel the chill in the air as the sun is sort of hanging just above the horizon. Darby, Marius, what's going on with you?
Marius, where are we heading? I think we gotta hurry so we can get upstairs.
I know. I want to see if they have any systems that we can get online, maybe for communication. Maybe they've tried to disrupt the time loop. They may have invented. I mean, I don't know. Maybe they
who? You mean who?
The other teams, the teams that came before us. They must have we're kind of working with the teams that preceded us to stop this. I would think.
Okay. Okay. What do you need me to do?
I just look around. If anything looks online or interesting, or maybe there's some astronomy records too. I have questions about whether the glitch is even natural.
I've been thinking about that, and how Mira and I used to talk about fractals a lot, and those kind of repeating patterns, and how everything is just a smaller or larger version of itself, and I don't know. I'm kind of wondering if maybe the glitch is actually the defense mechanism, not the plants. I'll look around for some records. I'm not sure.
Yeah, if they have anything documented on the glitch, I think we need to know what we're up against here.
And Darby, as you say that, there's something that makes sense in your head. I mean, yeah, maybe the glitch is the defense. No, you can't quite finish that thought.
Okay. Well, I'll keep my eyes open for equipment and look for records too, I suppose. And then I'll just do that.
Yeah. And I think Marius is kind of looking at the small picture right now. Like, is there anything they've done to create an electromagnetic field to protect them from the time loop? Like anything to buy more time to look into the bigger questions?
Yeah, give me a roll.
Okay. I am stupidly going to add my change die because I really want to pass this.
Why not?
I rolled 2 3s and a 1, so
that's great.
Depending on what you give me, I may want to re-roll.
So yeah, I mean, you're finding. I mean, you're not very used to reading through scientific logbooks, but there is a scientist called Dr. Farah, who we said this to Pierce, right? But it talked. So terraforming in some sense might be a way to fight back. But actually, he wasn't interested in that research. He was more interested in the plants, and I mean, he thought they were really quite beautiful. There was he thought he hypothesized that they were communicating with each other in this they're almost like sentient.
Oh,
he did actually go out to study the plants. He sort of his last entry mentions that he was going out to study them. He thought there was some sort of massive center where like a communication hub for all the plants.
Oh, that's good. Can I re-roll to get more information on the hub?
Sure. Well, I know where it is. Yeah.
Yeah, this might be valuable to Extraxa too. Oh shit! 116.
Okay. Yeah. So you. Oh well, I think at that right you're going to be a bit entranced by it. So yeah, let's have you looking out the window, right? Mm-hmm. And you'll look out at the plants, this sort of dead greenery. But as you're looking, I mean, it's almost like you can see the beauty of it, right? You can see these sort of lines of plants. There's some sort of pattern there, but you can't quite perceive it. And then, you can't see it, but you can imagine that there is a communication hub back there. And look, Marius, what if these plants weren't just like sentient, but what if they were like a civilization?
Oh,
like
yeah,
more advanced than you guys, because they're constantly communicating, they're constantly in each other's minds. I mean, isn't that amazing? Isn't that beautiful? Wouldn't you want to be part of that? No, you don't want to be part of that.
Maybe I do. I'm gonna roll my change die.
Yeah.
Oh shit, I'm at 5 now. Okay, yeah. So I think I'm starting to really feel a connection to the plants. I do want to, as I'm kind of staring out the window, I want to signal to Darby. Darby, come look at this. Look at the patterns. Look at the plants. Do you see it? You were talking about the fractals earlier.
Yeah.
It's like maybe. I mean, they're just defending themselves, right? We are invading their territory, right? So the plants, they're just protecting themselves from us. It makes sense. Maybe if we can connect with them and let them know that we have some common goal, then they won't.
Are you saying this
attack
over
us
open
tonight.
comms again?
Of course. I'm always leaving the comms open.
I
Do I
mean,
hear Terrence laughing?
listen, that seems to line up with what we had thought in the last planet as well. If that's the case, if they are defending themselves, and maybe something that we could also do is not just try to convince them or tell them that we're not trying to harm them, but actually demonstrate that in some way.
Oh, that's nice. What?
Graham, I have a question. How does the terraforming happen?
Oh, so you've been given sort of operational instructions about this. So you will need to find some terraforming equipment. Extractors say there is some on this planet somewhere. You'd need to find it, and then you kind of set the there's sort of terraforming, sort of semi-portable terraforming canister thing that you set up and you let it go.
And you program it in some way? How does it know what to do?
It has various settings, but essentially you sort of set it on an area and it kind of spreads out and makes everything. It does some chemical things and some nuclear things and makes the area around it habitable for humans, and presumably imposes a linear sense of time on it as well.
Is there a reverse setting on the terraformer?
Sure.
An undo? Control Z
Yes.
on the... Okay.
Yes, you can definitely do that very bad thing. Absolutely.
Great. Amazing. Yes. Okay. I mean, maybe we could, if it was the terraformer that's kind of put things in this state, maybe, I don't know how this equipment works. You're the systems engineer, but is there like an unterraforming that we could possibly do?
Yeah. Yeah, we could reverse
So-
it. I don't know if we have time, but no, it's a really good idea. I think that, and then we could burn the mansion down and just show them that like we're returning the planet.
Marius, okay. Settle down, honey. We just need to
I'm at
take a
5
deep breath.
change. Yeah, I can't do that.
You say that, Darby's nose starts to bleed. One other thing I was just thinking about. So they keep saying the plants come at night, right?
Yeah.
And then Ross is, nope. But then Pierce's hand, he got a little bloody, but that was during the daytime. And maybe it's the interacting. Maybe there's something to do with, maybe it's not just the cycle. Maybe it's not just the day-night cycle. Maybe there's something else that makes them show up or move through time.
Oh, you think because he took the sample?
Because he cut it.
Yeah.
And as you're talking about sunset, I mean, the sun is, halfway down at the moment, and you can hear from throughout the mansion people running upstairs.
Shit, we gotta move. And then over comms, guys, we gotta head upstairs.
Yes. We should secure a room if we can.
Yes.
You want me to talk to the concierge? I'm sorry, Doc. I'm stressed out. I didn't mean to sass.
Well, you can certainly talk to the butler.
When I say secure a room, I mean that there may be people who we need to convince to make space for us.
Yes, well, let's go and see how diplomatic we can be. And,
And something strange is happening because it's almost as time is beginning to fragment just a little. So, and imagine a film that sort of cuts from scene to scene, and so you're just getting this sort of sense that there's a bit of conversation over here, and then suddenly there's a bit of a jump, and the next things happen. So it's as though time is not quite flowing right.
okay.
Yeah, we are getting the fuck upstairs.
Yeah.
Right, yes.
And I want to look in the morning room first when we get up there. Because that was an interesting place last time.
Yep. So you can go up the stairs, and as you're running up the stairs, the others kind of ran up ahead of you, I think, and time is now beginning to fragment quite a bit. You know what things look like under a strobe light, right?
Mm-hmm.
You will see, I think as you're going up the stairs, you will see sort of a flash of a banister, a flash of someone's foot running, a door closing, just these disconnected things.
And that's a change roll.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm scared to make a change roll.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
I go up by 1.
Apparently, we finally found what freaks Terrence out.
Darby,
Yes.
and one of the flashes you see is a plant in the corner of the room, which wasn't there anymore, there before.
Is it a gold plant? Does it look like the plants that were outside? Or does it look
Yes.
like... Okay.
It looks like the plants that are outside, but alive.
Oh.
Very alive.
Okay, that's going to stop her in her tracks for just a second. And she'll kind of like full turn to face it. How close am I to it?
It's in the corner of the Great Hall. You're not close to it. Darby stopped. Is anyone doing anything about that, or are you running?
I feel like it's almost hard to react and notice things with time moving the way it is. I was approaching the stairs, and now I'm halfway up the stairs, and now I'm seeing a door at the end of the hallway and turning around, and Darby's not there, and then Terrence is right in front of me, and where's Arby? Where's Darby?
She's probably back there somewhere. You might be able to get her.
Yeah, I kind of lean over the banister and see if I can see her.
Okay, yeah, she's standing in the middle of the staircase. Can I just cut to Marius? Where are you?
I was making a move for I don't know who was ahead of who. I was going for the morning room.
Yeah, that's good. And someone will look at you and just go, I mean, because there are people like sheltering in the various rooms.
Yeah.
And someone just says, don't.
Why? They said to get upstairs.
These rooms are okay. That room is not.
What's wrong with that room? Can I just take a peek?
Marius, we need to survive in order to complete this mission. If you get yourself killed, if you get the rest of us killed, that will undermine that. Let's not be stupid.
I feel like Marius is kind of, with a sly grin, cracking the door open as Terrence says that over comms.
I absolutely think you should be stupid at this point. Okay, so there's the morning room. It's pretty much as you remember it. I mean, pock marks in the wall and sort of, plaster falling from the ceiling. But I mean, you can't quite see though because you're just by the door. You'd have to look around.
Yeah. No, this looks promising. Like all 4 of us could shelter in here.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I do want to look around.
Yeah.
Make sure it's clear. Yeah.
You walk into the center of the room. This is a clear room. This looks good to shelter in. Yeah, it's looking good.
Okay. I'm going to say that over comms. Like, there's nothing wrong with this room. We could shelter here. It's upstairs. There's no one here.
Marius, did you hear the nice people who said that was a bad idea? The nice people who have been here much longer than we have. The nice people who have been here long enough to have been affected by these things but haven't died.
Yeah.
Shall we listen to those nice people?
The people with a heap of dead bodies out front? I'm not sure, Terrence.
Yeah, but the point, Marius, is they're not dead. The people who are speaking to us aren't dead. For all we know, the dead bodies belong to the people who didn't listen to them and went into the fucking morning room.
Marius, and I just want Marius to go quiet at the moment. So Marius is just going to go quiet on comms, if that's okay.
Yeah.
And we'll come back to that. Darby and Pierce, what's happening to you?
Darby, you've come up here now.
There's something. Graham, I feel like Darby and Mir's friendship was pretty like they were buds, right? And I think that there was something kind of like fascinating about Mir's work to Darby. What would I have to roll, if anything? Could I roll to see what I might know about how to care for plants, how to encourage the growth of plants?
Oh, that's nice. Yeah, so just thinking back on your conversations with me, how to care for them, encourage the growth of them. Do you mind if you give me a moment to give me a roll, and I will think about that and see if I can think of a better answer than what's not in my head at the moment.
Rad. Just for funsies, I'll throw my change die onto this. A 2 and a 5.
Can we just come back to Pierce?
Yes.
What are you doing? And Darby, as you're standing in the Great Hall, right, there are plants appearing round you. Not kind of around you, but, plants in all corners of the hall. So, and you can see exactly what happens, right? Like a massive branch appears. It's as though a tree appears, which has always been growing there, except it just appears. When it does, the tiles crack.
Oh, I can see the tiles actually actively cracking as the tree appears.
Yeah. As something just appears in the middle of them. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay, I think that when she sees that, she will maybe start to move up a little bit, with the idea that there's nothing she can do if she's super dead. So she might start kind of making her way up the stairs a little bit, but just still kind of fascinated and taking in as much as she can while also trying to remember plant facts.
Yeah. Give me that roll. Pierce, I just want to come to you from what's up with you. So Darby is standing in the middle of this great hall where plants are appearing.
Yeah, I'm seeing all this too, and it's that my change also goes up.
Yeah.
I am now at 5. And I will kind of begin to just cling to the banister as kind of the motion sickness of the unstuck in timeness of all this.
Yeah, clinging to the banister hurts. Yeah.
Yeah, and Darby, and you've got to get up here. Take my hand as I reach one hand on the banister, one hand forward.
Yeah, no, you can't move away from the banister, Pierce.
But why's that?
You know how grabbing onto the banister hurts?
Yes.
You should look at that hand.
And when I do, there's a plant growing, sprouting through it.
It's where the wound was before.
Yes, of course.
Plant just impaled through it, yeah.
If the screaming stops, if the calling stops for Darby, if there's any indication that Pierce is in pain, Darby will her attention will immediately fly up to him, and then if he looks at all like he's in distress, she's gonna bolt up to him.
Yes, I very much look like I'm in distress.
Pierce,
just oh God, it got me where it was before. It finally happened to me.
Let me see it. Grab his hand.
Don't touch it. Don't touch it. And I
impaled. But he should get out of here, Nick. Plants growing here, right?
We gotta move. Pierce, we gotta move.
How? But is there any way of extracting my hand, other than kind of moving it up a shaft of greenery? Am I fully impaled on this thing?
We could try doing you're fully impaled. You could try. Well, I mean, there's not really a way of it, getting out of your hand moving. No, there's a way of you moving.
Right, of course.
Yeah, but not with the hand.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Don't touch it.
There are more plants, and there are sort of thicker plants. And let's have a pass. The balcony rail just kind of crashed the fall of the Great Hall as a sort of massive tree-like thing just thrust through it.
And just out of curiosity, so he can't. There's no way to not unimpale him, but cutting the plant wouldn't free him.
Oh, we could try.
Yeah, I think I've
got something. Yeah,
I've got the little clip. I think a Leatherman type tool, an all-purpose kind of thing. And if I can maybe shear through the top of this plant above where it's punctured me and below, so maybe I can move off with still a little sprout emerging from this wound. If I could execute that maneuver.
Yeah. It's so tempting to say a straight no to that, but let's give you a roll.
I'll do a roll. I think that would maybe just be one die.
Yeah.
For me, because
obviously I'm rolling the failure die against you because failing to cut through the plant is so much fun at this point.
Of course. Let's see here. Okay. Something tells me I failed to cut through it.
Oh, so what did you get?
I got a 2.
I have a 3. So yes, at the moment you're failing to cut through it.
Frig. And I don't suppose there's anything I could do to assist.
You can roll with him if you like. I mean, Pierce, but if you like took a chunk of finger off or something, then you probably could get it out. Yeah.
Right. I'm just looking up into your eyes, like desperately. Like,
what do I do? What do you want me to do? Just tell me what to do. I'll do it.
I can't do it. I can't just. And I'm like kind of splaying my fingers out, and you can tell I'm sort of asking you to cut like between my middle and ring finger to create a passageway where I can kind of separate my hand out to remove this thing.
God,
I can't do it.
Oh, just give me the thing. Give me the tool. Give me it. She'll take the knife from him, and she'll like steel herself as she makes a change roll, and try to cut. Wow. Okay. Well, I guess that will happen first, just the thought of it, because I do go up to 5, and now I'm fully ready to cut my friend's hand open to free him from this plant. Apparently.
Great. All right, so yeah. But you can describe how that plays out.
Oh, thank you.
That's all right, no trouble.
Yeah, so I think just like she's thinking about this, it's like horrifying. It's making her stomach turn. Then she looks up into Pierce's eyes, and I think that he is just as frantic. Is Pierce at 5 changed as well?
Oh yes.
Yeah, and so there's like a brief like awful, horrifying connection, and then she just kind of like goes a little bit numb. She takes the tool, she kind of flips it in her hand, she stabs into his hand and just kind of drags it with all of her weight, because she's kind of a slight little thing. She just drags it towards her and cuts open his hand.
An extremely high-pitched scream comes out of like and pulls the hand away, just like covered in blood.
And as he's standing there with his blood-covered hand and she's standing there with the blood-covered tool, I think she's going to be like, "We got to get you to the doc."
Mm-hmm. And I did a change roll, Graham, and I rolled a 6.
Oh no!
bringing me to 6.
That's amazing. So at that, Ross will be completely broken. Well, should we put that on hold a moment? So for the moment, Ross can kind of stumble holding his hand to the doctor, but at this point, Ross's story is over and his mind is fractured in some way, and you can decide what a good ending for him is.
Okay. His augmented eyes just staring into the middle distance. Yes, and looking not unlike a World War I shell shock survivor, as he's drawn up the stairs, pouring blood.
And I mean, let's have him just a little bit, because he was getting entranced by the timelines, right? Let's just have him looking at the plants.
And looking at my hand and seeing it sealed, split, sealed, split.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Or do we want, and this is just a suggestion, do we want him to just wander downstairs into the Great Hall and just be entranced by it all for a moment?
After all, yeah, like dragged up by Darby, perhaps that I'm just like wrench the hand away.
Pierce, we gotta get you to the doc. Your hand's messed up.
Darby, I'm already there. Go, you'll see me.
Pierce,
and then I stop and I turn around and like, but you're not there. You're not there.
Pierce, I'm right here. We gotta go.
I
turn my back on you and walk down the stairs.
And there's something, I love staying with this weird timeline for a moment. There's something that Pierce can at the moment just see the whole history of this planet, right? From when it was just plants, and then Extractor put a watch station there, even broader, right? From before there was a glitch, and before Extraxa sent their first ship, and then this sort of ship arrived, and then the glitch appeared, and then the watch stations all put on all the planets. For a moment, Pierce can just see that whole history.
Yes, we're all happening at the same time.
And Darby was right. The glitch was protective in some way.
Yes, it is in fact helping us. And yeah, there's some, and walking past the plants, you feel upon like touching them, like just the unspeakable pain in his right hand and his left hand when he touches them. Perhaps there's that shudder of pleasure from oh null.
Yeah. Oh yes, absolutely.
And yeah, just seeing like sunrises, sunsets melting into one another, his own hands sealing and breaking again, the hand becoming feminine, masculine, larger, smaller, as different iterations of Pierce are like flowing across his vision. Yeah, he's lost in the sauce.
That's amazing. Darby, and are we okay to just let Pierce wander downstairs? I mean, if Darby wanted to drag him away, would be okay, but
I mean, I can't. I'm trying to get to a place where I think that she wouldn't try to stop him in some way. I mean, especially because like she's just been thinking about Mir, and she they left her there too, and I can't think of a way that she wouldn't try to stop him, like try to grab his shoulders or.
How about if a massive plant just rams through him?
Rams through me?
Through him.
Oh, through him.
Because then we can have the thought of Darby will go, I should do something about that. And then we can have a massive plant just smash through him, if that's okay.
I mean, I'm not going to agree to this, Graham, but you're going to do what you're going to do. So.
It's changed 6. I mean, so
yeah.
So Pierce's story is over. So Ross, if that's okay, let's have Pierce sort of wandering down, and then we'll have this plant thrust right through him, and then if you like, a moment of total pleasure or pain or anything.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, it's ecstasy as time and vision and everything just fractalizes in every direction, and I see the totality of everything all at once. But Darby, what you see is my head split open like a melon as this branch just appears within me, and my eyeball launches out and hits the tile on the floor with a very metallic sound as the augmentation implant shatters on impact.
Fucking eyes. Always with the eyes. Okay, I'm going to roll a change die here. Okay. It's at my change, though. Okay. Just like an absolute anguished shriek erupts from Darby, just kind of like the rawest freaking animal sound that a human can produce. And then... what the hell? If the eye is close to me, I will definitely grab it. And then probably just run away. Run towards where I think where Terrence is, I guess.
Nobody wants to go to the morning room?
Oh, yeah, speaking of.
I was going to say, I mean, let's play out that scene. So, I mean, Darby, let's go and talk to Terrence. And Terrence said Marius has gone dead on the communication with the men.
Well, no, what Terrence has realized is that for what he has planned, he's going to need Marius. And if Marius gets himself killed, that's going to ruin things. So, grudgingly, Terrence is heading towards the morning room with the goal of grabbing Marius by the scruff of the neck and just dragging him to safety.
So, Darby, you will, as you run away from Explodey Head Pierce, you will you will see Terrence heading towards the morning room.
And I think just she's probably a little bit frantic still, and she'll just like run up to him and she'll just like grab onto him for the human comfort. and just not
I can't
just,
imagine that's ever happened to Terrence before.
weirdly, I was thinking that like though he's a little rough around the edges, there's probably something very like reassuring about how calm he is. And so I think that's like a beacon for Darby, especially in this moment.
Does Terrence need to do a change roll for being grabbed in a human way?
It's not an attack.
Darby, there you are. Look, we need to get Marius to safety. He's being an idiot. He's going to get himself killed. We really don't need that right now.
Pierce is dead. She'll hold out her hand with the eye in it.
Oh, anyway, let's save Marius.
Yeah, okay. And she'll just follow you.
The eye is scanning and judging.
It somehow narrows, even though it's just like the ball.
Yeah.
And so we opening the door to the morning room?
If Marius shut it behind him, because of course he fucking did, yeah.
This guy.
It was for your safety.
So it swings open, and Marius will be in the middle of the morning room with passed out, I think, if that's okay, Cupp, with a massive vine through his chest, shoulder, torso, something like that.
Yes, I knew this was going to happen. Right. Darby, give me a hand here. I'm going to try to cut him free from this.
Darby, especially because you have, a bit of time on your hands. Not exactly, but
Hey.
that sounds like the worst pun ever. I think it was.
Boom shakalaka.
So the plants are now, they're not dead. They are reaching to the sky. They are standing up and alive and electric. And as you look over the planet's surface, it's incredibly beautiful, right? You can see these sort of soaring arcs and sort of cathedral-like domes. All these plants interconnecting. It's incredibly beautiful. You can also see what looks like a pile of metal, but we can come back to that later, sort of deep in the plant.
It's probably nothing.
Probably.
What happens if I just touch the plants?
What,
I just
the vines of the plants?
Yeah. Not, just like, I'm not trying to, I just want to like touch it. I just want to put my hand on it.
Yeah, it's like putting your hands on a tree. It's quite like putting on your hands on a tree. It's quite comforting and
And if I think back now again to Mir's excited ramblings, not ramblings, but like when she would talk excitedly about like plants and their life cycle and the interesting things about them and the way they communicate and like the what is that huge like network of trees and like fungus that all comprises the like the largest living organism in the world or whatever, like
aspens,
thinking about,
aren't they?
Ooh, yeah. Thinking about aspens. Do I get anything?
Sure. Let's try and mentally communicate with plants. That sounds great. So let's do the rolls, right? So
I mean, I'm at 5 change. What, talking to a tree in my brain doesn't sound that far off of.
So one roll if it's something any kind of employee could do. No, this is all sounding a bit supernatural, which is fine, but you don't get that first die. 1 die if it's within your specialism. No, it's not really. So only your change die if you have that.
Hell yeah. Let's do this.
Great.
Well, I got a 2.
Okay. Did your change roll high?
A 2?
Yeah, well, it did. It's the only dice you roll. So you should make a change roll.
Oh, I see. Well, as I'm at 5 and I rolled a 3.
Yeah, for a moment you'll get this blurry, incomplete idea that there is a whole beautiful civilization. I mean, it's like hearing symphonies and radio communication all flowing, all these minds communicating. So they're not like separate minds; they're all together. It's incredible.
Can I reach for something?
Yes. What would you like to reach for?
Like in that feeling, in that kind of like sense, what I want to do, like I want to try to see if I can perceive like that entire thing's perception of us and like what we're doing. You know what I mean? Like what we are to it.
Yeah. Can we just come to Terrence just for a moment, though? So Darby is standing there with a hand on the plant.
You just can't get the help these days. All right, then I'm going to assess Marius's wound and try to work out whether it's going to be easier to cut through the plant and lift him off the stump there, or whether it's going to be easier to cut his arm off.
Can we vote? Yeah.
Do I get a vote?
No, you're unconscious.
Yeah, cut his arm off. You could. I mean, it's through the sort of fleshy muscle of the shoulder, really. So if you could just sort of cut through like a collarbone or something, it would probably.
That's quite a cut.
I'm sure we can resolve this later with prosthetics, but for the time being, the important thing is to get him free before anything else grows through him. So, yeah, I am going to... No, he's not worth a change die. I'll just roll my ordinary 2 ones. And,
he wants someone to roll against him.
I rolled a 1 and a 3.
Okay, was that to cut him free?
Yes.
Yeah. Ooh, I've got a 6. So no, it's well, I think in some way he's maybe once you start cutting, there are a few tendrils in the plant, and it's actually more embedded in the flesh than you thought. Doesn't mean you can't re-roll and cut him free.
Yeah.
You kind of be butchering his shoulder a bit, to be honest. Oh, Marius, should we have you waking up about now?
Of course, yeah.
I think that sounds good. So, so there you are. Terrence is cutting through your shoulder. You're in excruciating pain.
Yeah, maybe not even screaming, just total shock. Can't vocalize anything. I think that at 5 change, my first thought's going to be, like, is there anything I can use to kill Terrence right now? Because... the source of anguish, and it looks like he's trying to destroy the plants as well. It's kind of working.
Grab the tool he's trying to use on you, I guess.
Yeah, with the other hand, just kind of reach across and try to.
Yeah, your arms are still there. You could probably grab it. Yeah,
yeah, maybe force it up through his throat or something. I'll give it a shot.
Sure.
Yeah.
Do we want a bit of a competitive role between Terrence and Marius?
I was about to say I'd like to oppose this.
Oh, right. Okay, thanks. Let's do a competitive role between the two of you.
Look, just because his intent is to kill you doesn't mean that he will. I get 2, an ordinary and a change.
I don't know if this is metagaming it too much, but I think as soon as I see that he's waking up and that he's beginning to struggle, my initial reaction is going to be to sedate him.
Yeah, so that sounds good to me. Yeah.
Okay.
Give me a roll.
Okay, so I will bring my medicine into this.
And so,
fuck's sake. I rolled a 1 and a 2.
Do you still want to roll from me, Graham?
Okay, so at the moment you're tying, right? Have you both...
Well, I didn't roll anything yet.
Oh, sorry. Yes, you should roll.
I rolled a 5.
Ooh. Okay, excellent. Well, I think a 5. You're meant to get something extra, but let's give you the the weapon. And I think Terrence is sort of struggling around trying to find a sedative at the moment. And so, I mean, we shouldn't have resolved that. I wouldn't have wanted to kill you on that, Terrence.
Yeah, I could just stab him. I don't have to kill him. Just trying to, like, he's cutting my arm off and hurting the plants and ruining the morning room experience. Yeah. So I think just trying to stab him in a significant way would be the goal.
Yeah.
Okay.
That sounds polite.
I'm happy with being stabbed.
I mean, should we just narrate that and, like, let the previous roll ride? So should we have Terrence, like, bending over to get a sedative out, and you can sort of slash?
Yeah.
Does that work?
Yeah. What was it? What were you using to cut my arm off? Like a large scalpel?
Yeah. Well, let's go science fiction and say a laser scalpel.
Okay. Very nice. Yeah. Yeah, so I think just trying to jam that into Terrence while he's bent over.
So, yeah, I mean, Terrence recoils at this blood pouring down his side from this wound. And perhaps for the first time ever, you see Terrence look genuinely angry as he's standing there looking down at you.
Do we want a bit of astonishment as well that, that someone has in some way bettered Terrence? And in fact, Terrence's body has kind of failed him in some way. I mean,
Okay,
he's not used to failing, is he?
Okay, change roll then. Yeah. No, Terrence is okay.
You're fine.
With this.
I think when Marius sees Terrence's reaction, he's going to have that realization that he was not freed from the impaling tree, and probably has a little bit of fear.
Can we actually come back to Darby just for a moment? Yeah.
Come on, jump into the fray.
I mean, I'm just chilling. I'm just getting tight with this tree. You know how you do.
You're meditating with the trees while we're stabbing each other.
They're doing some, man shit, fighting each other, and you're So what are you? You were trying to find out what the plants think of us.
And the there's no way to articulate, how can we undo? How can we withdraw? How do we not be friends? But I think it's just are we the Paris? Are we the virus? Are we the bad thing? And you're just here living your planty life.
Cool. Give me a roll to figure out that. Yeah, absolutely.
Do I have any? I think it's just the change die, right? There's nothing I can. Yeah. I got a 1, but since it's my only thing, I'm gonna. Okay, so the change roll is still below my change score. So.
Okay, good. Okay, that's good. Yeah. On a 1. Well, just what do we mean to them? Not much.
Can I re-roll? Can I do a re-roll?
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
Do I have to explain how I do this?
Sure. I'm assuming you're probing your mind deeper into the plants. I mean,
Actually, I think that maybe she kind of has that thought and doesn't really get anything back. The scuffle makes some sort of a noise. Her attention is momentarily drawn over to the 2 dudes fighting with the laser scalpel. And there's just a part of her at 5 change that goes, nah, and then refocuses even harder. Just doesn't want to deal with that at all, and just goes in harder for plant time.
Oh no.
Yeah, so I rolled a 1 again.
Oh, for fuck's sake!
And another change roll.
Yeah, let's go ahead and do that. It comes in under my change score, so no up.
Okay. So no, you're very. I mean, you're not really. They don't really care about humans.
Yeah,
is what you get.
Okay, I guess I should go help out, and then we'll turn your attention to these 2 knuckleheads.
No, it's great.
And bozos.
I wonder if you don't. I mean, if you. If there is other stuff you want to do, tell me. But I wonder if what we might do actually is sort of cut forward to the next morning.
I mean, Terrence is standing there, bleeding, getting a bit of gauze and putting it to the wound on his side, looking down at this plant that's still impaling Marius, and says, "The Hippocratic Oath holds that I should try to help you. But I don't think there's really anyone else around here to enforce it. Make yourself comfortable there."
And so should we just leave Marius there, with his shoulder half butchered?
Can I roll change on it first before we cut away?
Yeah, that sounds right.
I'm being left here impaled.
Yeah.
I had a 5. Same.
Great.
No change.
The sun rises, and the plants all die down. So you remember Marius is in the morning room and has been suspended there all night. And so as the sun comes up, he'll see the plants revert back to being sort of dead greenery. He'll also see that pile of metal, which is you can see more clearly in the light, is a pile of extractor ships. So lots of other shuttles that have come down. and yeah, and that's it. So it's morning.
So, Darby, am I right in understanding then that you have confirmed that these plants are actually sapient?
I mean, it would seem so. And I mean, all evidence seems to suggest that that's at least a possibility.
Well, this does pose us then with, I suppose, two possibilities, which is to either try to make peace with them for what's happened, or to complete the process of exterminating them. As much as the first option appeals to my sense of humanity, I can't imagine a circumstance where anything that intelligent forgives attempted genocide.
Doc, I make no assumptions about your humanity, but I might, if I can, appeal to your practicality. There have been so many other terraforming teams that have been sent down here by Extraxor. What exactly do we have that they didn't have? How on earth could we hope to exterminate these things that others have tried to exterminate and so spectacularly failed?
What do we have? Intelligence, pragmatism, and the will to finish the job.
Can I just... What? I'm not trying to... I know I haven't been out on as many missions as you have, and I trust your experience, and I trust your intelligence, and I trust you. But I don't know if making peace is even what we're trying to aim for, what we should be trying to aim for. Just... if we could just undo the harm. I mean, the sense I got was that we're like flies to them. And so the only reason that you would kill a fly is if it's bugging the shit out of you. Maybe we can just, be less annoying.
Ooh, can I come in on comms right when she says we can be less annoying? Just whimpering for Terrence. Terrence. I'm sorry, Terrence. Terrence, I need help.
See, like if he had just shut up, you would probably be less. I can see the rage boiling in your eyes, and I'm just saying, maybe it's not a question of making peace.
I'm not angry. I'm just disappointed.
Well, that's worse. I mean, everyone knows that's worse.
Marius, if I come through to try to help you, are you likely to try to stab me this time?
No, I wasn't myself. I thought you were hurting me. I'm sorry. I understand now. It's my fault, Terrence. No hard feelings on my side anyway.
Well, I suppose it's a good thing that you didn't bleed out overnight then. I wasn't quite sure, but let's see whether we can get you patched up, because if we are going to commit genocide today, we'll probably need your help.
I think I missed some of your comms, but you can catch me up.
From context, you can probably, what will catch you up. Yeah.
Have we met, Darby? Yeah. No. Yeah, okay. He'll just lie limply until Terrence decides to attend to his wounds.
Yeah. So Terrence will go through, patch up the wounds, and then pump him full of analgesics and stimulants until he's buzzing.
Nice.
While he's doing that, can I request? I'm trying to come down off of 5 to undo a little bit. Mm-hmm. I'll just say, Terrence, could you just help me forget yesterday? I know you have something.
Can we perhaps hold off on forgetting everything that happened yesterday until we complete our tasks today? Because I think you may need to draw upon some of your experiences of yesterday.
How would you feel about forgetting that long night?
I was about to say yes. Yeah, I was just about to suggest that.
Yeah.
If you want, I can at least make you forget what happened last night.
Yeah. That's probably better for both of us. Let's do it. Let's do it.
Oh, don't worry. I'll remember.
And so let's make a downwards change roll for Marius.
Okay.
Yeah. This
And
may hurt.
My goal's to roll under. Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay. Ooh, just barely. Yep. I rolled a 4.
But that's okay. So it ticks down to a 4. Yeah.
All right.
And I guess just to set this up for you guys as players, right? So I can see you going in two directions about, what the ending might be. Are we going to destroy the plants or not? Let's leave that decision until the very last moment. So, we can have a situation where you can go and get terraforming equipment, and then right at the last moment, because Darby, do you remember this thing you were suggesting about, can you do an anti-terraform? Let's make a roll right at the last moment to find out.
Okay. Same equipment. So yeah, everything up to then. Yeah.
There's a way of, switching the terraforming equipment, so it has a very different effect.
Yeah. Do I have any inkling that the terraforming equipment would be near the metal pile, or would it be somewhere else?
Yeah. So, terraforming equipment, if it's anywhere, go and look for old terraforming equipment on those extractor ships. You'd probably be able to cobble something together.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Let's go to the heap of ships, I think.
If we're going to be short of time, then let's grab the equipment we need and bring them back to a room here to work on.
Okay.
And, Marius, I know that you're in a bit of a delicate condition at the moment with the wounds you've taken. I think with the amount of work we need to get through today, I'm going to give you some extra stimulants. If you do notice any heart palpitations, if you find yourself sweating profusely, these are normal side effects. Don't worry about those. Just let me know if you start noticing shooting chest pains.
Okay. Yeah.
And I'll inject him in the neck.
And then I'm just revved up. No, it's amazing how precisely the plants cut through me, Terrence. Did you see that cut?
Yes, uncanny.
Yeah.
Right. Shall we get to work?
Yes.
And so, shall we have you? I'm assuming you're heading towards the ships, right?
Yes.
So let's have you walking out among the plants, and Darby especially. You can all see this, right? But this is going to come home to you, Darby, I think. As you're walking through, and you're aware it's not just like a mass of dead greenery. It's mainly dead, but it's all laid out very beautifully. So you're walking along what's basically a pathway, and as you walk, the pathway begins to rise. There's a moment where you're walking over what's like a sort of cathedral-like dome, and you're looking in all directions over these sort of beautiful, interconnected plant architecture. I mean, for all of you, this is quite incredible.
You'll see this? It's almost like
A brain.
Oh.
Yeah. It's a system.
Yes. There are certain parallels between the structure of these vines and neural pathways.
I mean, I understand that analogies only go so far. If this is the brain, and I mean, what's the body?
I doubt there's a difference with the plants.
Oh. Okay.
But then again, I'm not a botanist.
Right.
One thing I would suggest while we're out here is let's take cuttings as well. If we do find that we have to destroy these plants completely, what they represent is still potentially useful to extract, and if we can take samples back that can be regrown in a new environment into something similar, then I imagine that will be extremely valuable.
Would you mind if we waited until we made the decision which way we want to go before we cut these things up?
I think it would be better to do it now, because if we do find ourselves in a similar situation tonight as we were in last night, and Terrence will give a quick look at Marius, then time, no pun intended, may be of the essence.
Okay. All right, I trust you, Doc.
Yeah, it's just a clipping.
All right. Yeah, then I'll try to find a bit of the plant that looks like it's got a root structure as well, and dig that up. And
We'll be oblivious to that bit.
And I think, Terrence, at this moment, we've got to do this, I think, at this moment, right? You're just going to feel the warmth of blood running down your leg.
well, that's unfortunate.
What is it?
Nothing. Don't worry about it.
If we want, you can do a little competitive roll to see if you do notice, Darby. I'm really happy to do that.
I think that yes, only because she did ask about like the Pierce's clipping. There was something like a small connection with Pierce's clipping.
And also, I'm happy not to put it to a roll and just have Darby notice. Yeah, I mean, Terrence may be denying it, but I, as a player, am not trying to hide it.
Yeah.
And Darby, let's say you can see it's even slightly worse. So, you know, there is blood, but not just on his leg, sort of at his stomach. And of course, if it's pierced through the stomach, then...
Oh my God, Doc, we can't cut any more of these plants. I think that she's gonna maybe... For lack of any kind of like rational thing to do, she might actually just grab the bit of plant that he's cut and just start trying to like stick it back on the little stub that it got cut from. We can't cut these things, Doc. We just can't keep cutting them. They're just going to keep cutting us. And she's just jamming it on.
Sorry. We didn't mean to do anything. Sorry.
I'm so sorry. We didn't know.
Darby, I understand you mean well, but either the damage is done already, and because of the foibles of time, then I am going to experience something very unpleasant tonight. Or time is more mutable than we might hope, and if we do finish the job today, then perhaps this is just an empty warning. Either way, the damage to that cutting is done. Let's just take it.
It's just... You weren't bleeding. Then you cut it. And now you're bleeding. You weren't going to get stabbed, and now you are. The plant wasn't going to hurt you, and now it is.
Yes.
This doesn't sit right, but I don't know what to do, so, you know,
What I'd like you to do is keep this safe. And Terrence will give you the cutting. If I've died for this, don't let it be for nothing.
Okay. I think she's gonna hold it like she's protecting like a part of herself now. She's just like, got it. Okay.
Terrence understands what a powerful motivator guilt is.
God.
Oh, what a lovely thought.
You beautiful, manipulative bastard.
I was just thinking that was such a lovely moment, but no, apparently it wasn't.
Never is.
And so you will keep walking, and then you'll see it. It's kind of almost like a crush of spaceships, all kind of piled up. Let's have you sort of walking down one of these pathways, almost like walking down a hill towards this these spaceships all kind of smooshed together, and from different times as well. From the very first extractor shuttle, so the invisible hand era, on to more modern ones that look quite like yours, all sitting there and all dead.
And when you say pile, I mean, as if they've been like pushed together by something. Like, what is the nature of the pile exactly? Yeah,
you can roll to find out if you like.
God,
Or
do I want to?
Or
Yeah.
we could just assume that it's the plant.
Yeah, we'll just. Do we want to know? Nah, it's fine.
Terrence, you said they're like a brain, right? So what if it's a feedback loop? The ship arrives, the people get off the ship and destroy plants, take clippings, take samples. They destroy the people to protect themselves. We've just gone through the same loop, right?
Yes, but the damage, as far as I can see it, has been done. We can't undo the sins of the past. I don't think we can ever hope to make peace with this. Honestly, if we had, let's say, for example, that we were back on Carly and there was some alien invader that kept coming to Carly. I mean, let's call them Extractor. But there's some outside force that kept coming to Carly and damaging the planet and destroying it and putting us out of our homes.
Yeah.
Would we... I seem to be talking myself around. Would we ever...
See, yeah, because if that invading force, if they
We did.
put down their weapons, if they stop what they were doing, we can't forgive this.
The plants aren't going to give us a fucking job.
The difference, I suppose, maybe, is that humans are better at lying to ourselves.
Yeah, maybe.
These plants are never going to forgive us.
They don't have to forgive us. You weren't gonna. It wasn't hurting you until you hurt it. If we stop this cycle of violence, then maybe there isn't hope for us, but maybe there's hope for anyone who might come in after us.
Yeah.
And
Darby,
maybe just move
Darby, I don't
Yes,
care
sir.
about the people who come after us. I want us to get off this planet alive.
At this, I think there's a little bit of sass that she's learned directly from Terrence. She'll hold up the plant and she'll say, "Honey, you're not getting off this planet."
And the blood just runs down your leg just a little bit more.
We'll see about that.
So yeah, massive spaceships. And if you want to talk more as you're exploring the spaceships, you're very welcome. You can go into the space, opening into the spaceships if you'd like to, as you like.
I'd want to start with the most modern, who have the best terraforming equipment.
Yeah.
I actually want to go into the oldest one and look for any record or what the last logs that were entered into it were. Whatever the invisible hand era one was. So maybe we don't have to do the same thing.
Yeah.
Marius, you can go up and do your thing.
I imagine these are the furthest apart. They're in a little sequence. It's like
They're all neatly stacked in chronological order.
It's like geology. Yeah.
The files, yeah.
Yeah.
Numerical. There's a strict filing system.
I for invisible.
No, I think we should split up a little bit. I'll look for equipment. You want to look for records? That's good.
Or maybe she even just wanders. We're all supposed to be looking for equipment, but then she just kind of wanders
Yeah.
off. And
Oh,
she's
okay. That's good. Yeah.
She's like, did they really come here and not do any bullshit to these poor plants? Did they not know what they were doing, the first folks that landed here? Anyway.
And Terrence, on the other hand, is just going to sit calmly outside and start working up a treatment protocol or a prophylactic treatment protocol for catastrophic stomach injuries. Because, damn it, he's got to live through this.
Sounds
On
good.
spite alone.
Right, Marius, let's do you first. So you're wandering around these ships. Let's imagine them kind of interconnecting with each other, right? So you walk through the body of one ship, and then you walk into the next, and this one's, on its side or something. So now you're walking on the side of a ship. So you walk into this weird mass of interconnected extractor ships, all dead.
Yeah. Are there signs in the ships of a lot of plant damage? Because I'm also trying to figure out if this is like an emergent system of plants. They figured out that we stay in the mansion, so that's where they're gonna attack, basically.
Yeah, I don't think the plants are really growing through these ships.
They're not. Okay. Well, that's good to know for Terrence for later, maybe. But yeah, I think mostly looking for terraforming equipment, the most sophisticated thing I can find, especially if we might undo it. I don't imagine all the equipment's capable of that.
That sounds fine. So do you want to give me a roll, and you'll be patching together, like a little bit of terraforming stuff in this canister here, together with, this motherboard you've got from something else, but you'll be patching it together. You're a systems engineer. You can do this.
Yeah, this is where I'll say a lot of words I don't understand. Yeah. Pretty good roll, though, a 5.
Okay. A 5. So yes, you have patched together a sort of terraforming cylinder which you can drag around, and a 5 you get something else. So let's also say that you also understand how to reverse or slightly adapt this process. You could kill the plants. You could get rid of the mansion. Well, you could get rid of the mansion's protection. There's lots of things you could do with this terraforming equipment.
Oh, interesting. I think I'll just over comms tell them I found the equipment we need, but I'm not going to specify the capabilities yet. I said yet. He wants to have a think.
Yeah.
Darby, let's have you walk into this absolutely ancient shuttle. I mean, really, centuries old, you think?
Ooh. Okay.
And yeah, you can look through records or do whatever you want to do.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what the access would be like if the ship is destroyed and there's no power to it. But if there's a way to jack my personal equipment into something to get just enough juice to scroll through logs or something.
Let's go with that because that sounds fun. So yeah, what would you like to know? And give me a roll.
I think I want to know what the understanding of the original people that landed here was, and what the last things that they communicated back to whoever they were able to communicate back to, what those things were. I guess it's fundamentally are we innocent players in this, or are we kind of perpetuating a legacy of Terrence used the word genocide. What is it exactly that happened here to start this whole thing? Let's do change. I think because I'm doing extracts equipment, can I use, even though it's ancient, can I use my employee die?
Yes, of course.
Great.
Yes, yeah.
And I'll also use my change die. I don't think astronomy is going to come into this. So
no, I'm not quite saying it, but yeah.
Yeah.
So you got a 4. Yeah. So this is, you can look into the records. I mean, so this is a shuttle that was, let's have it actually, it was one sent by the Invisible Hand. So the first, go on.
Sorry, just to give you a little bit more to work with. So 4 was my change die. I did roll a change roll, and I did get a 6. So I am also now at 6.
Oh,
so
wow, that's amazing.
Enjoy.
Yeah.
No, I forgot you were at 5.
Yeah, well,
Darby, at this moment, you see the whole thing. Right, you can. It's like you can sort of see time in front of you. So yeah, the Invisible Hand came along. Actually, the first thing you get from the logs is hope. Right, these signs, like the founders. Right, the founders of Extractor, this Freeman, Lou. They were hopeful people. They wanted to come out here and find things to help people. And so that, they descended sort of wanting to, they didn't know, trade with the plants, find out stuff. And then it went bad. But when you look at it, there's just this moment where you feel that if they'd made different decisions, it could have gone also much better. there was a way, Darby. That Extractor went bad, but there was a way it could have gone good.
Yeah, if they just hadn't been so greedy. Ooh, I think there's a moment. What could trigger it? There's they hadn't just, and they just kept sending people here, and I wonder how many other places they're going through the same kind of thing where Extracts is coming in and trying to impose their will, and how many lives they're sacrificing. And then her mind immediately goes back to her mother's death, and wondered if her mother's last moments were anything like what she is going through right now. And I think there's just a bit of her that just crumples and crumbles in on itself.
And do we want to leave Darby just jacked into this plant with all this jacked into this this port, and just with all this information pouring in and out of her, and just should we leave her there?
Yeah, and maybe she didn't tell the others where she was going, and so she's just kind of hidden in a weird place that no one would really think to look for her.
No, it's nice. Oh, although, can we have some last words from her over the communicator about what she's seeing and finding?
Oh, I think in this moment, because her family's really important. Her, the death of her mother was incredibly traumatic, and she sees the choice of different. If Extracta had just made different choices, if they'd just done things differently, if they hadn't been, so destructive, and then she thinks to Terrence's plan of just killing everything and making sure that we, the humans, get off the planet. And I think, she's not herself, and she just says, "Hey, Doc, I'm seeing some logs here that seem to suggest that you're right, and that you should do everything that you can to just totally destroy these plants."
If it's any consolation, Darby, their destruction will bring me no pleasure whatsoever.
Yeah, that's good to hear. And I think she settles in, just kind of silently praying that the plants will absolutely destroy Marius and Terrence and just wipe out everything else. Destroy the mansion, just destroy every trace of humanity on the planet.
And I think however long you search for Darby in this mass of ships, it's like a maze, right? You never find her. Even if you did, she took some turn you can't find.
I can't get anything over comms, Terrence. Do you think she died? What the fuck?
I don't know, but we're losing daylight. If we're going to get this machinery back to the mansion, well, there's still time. Maybe she'll find her way back. Maybe we'll find her again here afterwards. But
well, I was actually thinking about that, Terrence. I thought we might be safer on the ships tonight. Because look around. There's no real damage from the plants here. Now, is that just because people didn't shelter here? Or is it that the plants are focused on the mansion?
That is a surprisingly good point, Marius.
If we're together, I'll give him a look, a nod, a proud nod. But I was thinking I could even repurpose the equipment, try to create some kind of protective barrier for the night, and then give us a full day to try to destroy the plants, whatever it is we're going to do.
I think we should still attempt to do it before nightfall or at nightfall tonight.
Yeah, maybe.
I don't pretend to fully understand the physics involved in this. I don't understand what is happening with time. I don't understand whether the wound that I'm looking at here has already happened or will only happen under certain circumstances. But frankly, I would rather stack the deck as much in my favor as possible. Being somewhere safe, putting up protective barriers, and exterminating the plants seems like a winning gambit to me.
Yeah. You know, I think because he's just talking one-on-one to Terrence here, he's gonna share more about what he can do with the equipment. You know, there is the other option that Darby mentioned earlier. We could restore the ecosystem and try to make peace or, undo what Extracts has done. But I think we would probably need to sacrifice ourselves as well.
Yes. Marius, I don't know about you, but while I consider myself a capable doctor, I would never describe myself as a diplomat. And I don't mean this as any slight upon you, but I don't see you being able to broker a peace with an alien entity, putting aside generations of harm in the course of a few hours. I mean, you do have your strengths, and what you're talking about here with repurposing the terraforming equipment sounds amazing, and I am genuinely impressed by this. But I think we have to work within our limitations here, and I think working within our limitations, the only option we're left with is genocide.
Well, I don't have any delusions that they're going to let the two of us live. I was just thinking, if we restore the planet, Extraxa might stop sending these mission teams out here to terraform or to and interact with the mansion.
And what about our experiences with Extraxa so far leads you to that conclusion?
I don't know. I mean, maybe when they originally sent people out here, maybe they were trying to study it. They weren't trying to destroy it. I don't know. Terrence.
Marius, whatever your other shortcomings, you're not stupid.
Well, I wish we had a historian here. We could learn more about it.
And the sun just begins to lurk just over the horizon.
Yeah.
If you have the ability to use that equipment to wipe out the last of these plants, well, there's still hope for both of us.
Oh, God. Can I leave this up to a roll, Graham? I feel like the prospect of destroying these plants after what I've seen in the conversations with Darby is something where if my intent is to destroy them, I need to make a change roll. It's like, I don't know that I can destroy this species entirely and live with myself. So I feel like I have to go through this process with the change roll, which rolling a 6 might flip the decision away from what Terrence is intending.
Give me a change roll if you think Marius is under... Yeah, he is a bit under pressure, isn't he, I guess?
Yeah. Well, there's the sun pressure and the Terrence pressure. Okay. I rolled a 3.
All right.
Yeah.
I can see your reservations, Marius. If you are reluctant to kill an entire sentient species yourself, just show me which button to push.
No. I am going to... I'm going to do my best. I'm not completely I'm not at a 6. I'm going to do my best to wipe out the plant life without killing people.
Okay, that sounds good to me. So, yep, rolled. Failure die, definitely on that, I think.
Sure. And I'll roll all 3 if I might.
Yeah, so you're rolling to kill all the plants without killing the humans. As the sun the last bit of sun is just visible, and let's have time just beginning to fragment like it did before.
Yeah.
And yeah, give me a roll. I've got a failure die here.
I have a 5.
I have a 2. So yeah, you're fine. So tell me what happens.
Okay. I think I am going to kind of bring Terrence in. I want to feel like Terrence is part of this process. So we're gonna both hit some of the buttons to activate this. I'll say like, oh, you need to press this. We have to do the sequence here, and then we can take out the plants.
Yes.
We have the sample. I want to make sure we still have the sample before I do it.
Yeah,
No,
we
we
still
don't.
Oh, okay.
Oh, no. Darby had it.
Oh, Darby has the sample, of course.
Yeah.
Oh,
I
are you okay with this, Terrence, without the sample?
am. I wish we had it, but circumstances have changed.
And I think it's too late to work out whether you're okay, right? I think you've pressed the button.
Okay.
So at this point, the canister will begin the terraforming process, and you will see this sort of little spread of like soil, inhabitable soil. It sort of does a little bit fizzing, and then it's sort of going out in this ring from the terraforming canister. Are you getting away from this thing?
Oh, I think we're going to activate it and go to the highest spaceship in the pile, maybe.
Okay.
Yeah, I think we were using the spaceships as a shelter.
Yeah.
Ah, that's interesting. Okay. So yeah, you will see this ring of habitable Earth spreading out, and then I think you'll go inside the spaceships, and after a moment, you'll notice that time is not fragmenting. And so you're sheltering this spaceship, and do you want to take a peek outside?
Well, I think the first thing I want is to make a changed roll for Terrence, because as much as he tries to maintain a professional detachment from his actions, he has just in his own mind committed genocide. So, but he's okay with this. I rolled a 1.
That's very Terrence.
It's the logical thing to do.
Yeah. The life of Terrence over the lives of many.
How long would you shelter there before going outside? Would you give it an hour? Would you give it till morning?
For Marius, I think morning, but I would probably follow.
Say until morning.
Yeah. And so,
I think the biggest canary that we have in our coal mine is whether or not Terrence's wounds open up overnight.
Yeah.
No, nothing thrust through you. No.
You said the ships are interconnected. I think to the extent I safely can, I will look for Darby overnight instead of sleeping.
All right. And I said before that you couldn't find them, but do you want to roll to find them? I don't want to stand in your way if that's what you want.
Yeah, I mean, I don't. I was just going to look. I didn't have an expectation to find her. So that's 2d6 if I add change. Is that right?
Yeah. And I'm doing a failure die, of course.
Okay. I rolled a 6 on my employee die.
Oh. Well, look, Cupp, I mean, let's run it like this, right? So, yes, of course, you find Darby, and I think at that moment, it will just come home to you exactly what you've done. You've killed an entire civilization.
Right. I'll go ahead and make the roll for that. What's Darby's state at this point? She's plugged in, right, to the
I think technically alive, but nothing happening in her mind. Maybe murmuring some things.
Okay. I think just sit down next to Darby and process what's happening. I rolled a 1.
Let's have Darby murmuring. If this is okay, Nick, let's have Darby murmuring. Could have been good. Extractor. Wrong choices.
Yeah. It was too late here. Maybe the next mission will fix it. Maybe we can fix you too. We'll try. I do think he has intent to bring Darby on the ship, whether she can be saved or not. So I am going to try to remove Darby from the system and carry her back to where Terrence is.
Unplug her, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh dear.
I have one working arm, so it's going to be a process.
Yeah, I think Terrence will do a quick diagnostic of Darby and just shake his head.
Yeah, her mind's blown.
Yeah.
Physically okay, but her mind's blown.
I'm afraid the neurological damage is extreme. I don't think should ever recover, well, what we consider consciousness. But if we can get one of these ships working, it's worth taking her back. If nothing else, she's healthy and her organs will make good candidates for transplants.
Jesus, Terrence. They can do anything on the exchange. Don't give up. Come on.
Oh, and that's the other thing, right? Because these ships died because the time clocks had gone wrong, and that was because of the plants. So what's happening now is that all around the electronics are just coming back to life. Not completely. Some of them burnt out. Lots of the ships are smooshed together and they won't go anywhere.
Yeah.
But the electronics are just whirring back into life.
I think if we can find our ship, Marius, that is likely to be in the best condition. If you can get it space-worthy again,
I'm going to regret
I think
this.
it's time to report our mission a success.
Terrence, I'm going to regret suggesting this, but should we make this a rescue mission for the people who are still inside? In the mansion?
Let's make Extractor aware of their situation. The ship that we have can't carry that many people. Maybe we can go to the mansion, let them know. Actually, no. Let's go to our ship, get the hell out of here, let Extractor know, because if they start panicking, there is no better way of drowning than trying to save a drowning man.
Do you trust Extractor to come back here and rescue those people?
I trust those people to have enough sense to get another few of these ships working themselves and get off this planet.
I guess maybe, yeah.
And even if they don't, we've started a terraforming process.
Right. All right, let's find the ship.
This newly terraformed soil. It looks like a field. It looks. I mean, maybe it reminds you a bit of Carly. I mean, there aren't trees here, but the smell of the earth really takes you back to your home planet. And there's your shuttle, and it's there, and it's all working.
And I'm taking Darby, right? Are you okay with that? If I bring Darby to the exchange, just to see? Yeah. I mean, Terrence may not be on board, but just kind of doing.
Oh no. I gave you my opinion. Yes, I think.
Okay. Good. All right. Yeah. So, I think I can get it in the air. What about the doctor you talked to? You don't want to take anybody back with us?
If we let anyone know, the word will spread, and we'll be fighting people off.
No, we'll get them here under false pretenses and then just load the fuckers up.
Alternatively, we can get out of here, beam a message back to them, tell them that the ships are working, and they can make their own way off.
Okay, yeah. I'll want to send the message before we leave, but that's okay with Marius. Yeah.
Send it once we're in the air, all right?
Right at liftoff, I'll compromise. I don't want to get to the exchange and not be able to send it, because you know how they swoop in.
So the ship lifts into the air, and you can see the mansion. Maybe it's your imagination, but you can see people just sort of coming out of the mansion and beginning to put things back together. The soil below you looks beautiful. I mean, this will be a beautiful planet one day. And you're pulling against this close to the glitch. You're pulling against this gravitational pull of the glitch and fighting and just going up towards the exchange. And then the shuttle sort of loses its battle against the gravitational pull of the glitch, and you're getting closer and closer. And then you will find yourself heading into the center of the glitch. And I just want to do a bit of, you can join in with me and narrate this, but I just want to do a bit of narration to set you up for the last scenario. So what will happen is that for a moment, you will see the glitch around you. So these golden threads, this golden glow all around you. And then time begins to fragment, and then you are floating in space, and there is no shuttle, and there is no glitch. You are floating there.
And all we see is the gold threads around us.
There's no gold threads anymore. There's no glitch.
Oh, just floating.
Yeah.
Individually, we're floating, like just us in space.
Yeah. And let's have Darby there as well.
Yeah.
Are we able to breathe and stuff like that?
You're in your suits, so yes.
All right.
I think Marius is going to assume that he's had another head injury or something. Like this is an illusion. Can I just play with the comms just to try to ground myself in reality?
There's no comms. You're just there, and it does feel as though you've slipped through reality, time, as you'd expect when you go into the heart of the glitch, and then you see it. You see this massive wall of metal because there is this gigantic hub-like ship close to you, and you see the plate on the side, the name on the side. And it's the invisible hand. Because what we're going to do next week is we're going to play through the whole story of Extraxa and the story of the glitch. And we're going to see what happens.
Oh, no. All right.
We'll be fine.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Wait, as who?
As yourselves.